It's too bad you can't throw any like orgies or anything right now.
Yeah, it would be the perfect orgy time.
You can have a little threesome with, your fellas there.
Ooh, double fist. I bet Owen has to use
shit.
both hands all the time. He's got big, not even a long penis, just a real thick penis.
Yeah, just one of those like
Like a tree trunk.
nerdy, tall, skinny, just big thunker of a dong.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say like a stress ball, like
Like a stress ball. So like when you
we-
squeeze it, the eyes pop out and like the mouth goes. Woo.
No, I think he's misspeaking. He means medicine balls, and that his testicles are two ginormous weighted balls.
Yeah, there's a buzz, and I don't know how to fix it. I have no idea where the buzz is coming from, but oh no, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Ooh, whoa, whoa. What's that from? It's from something. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. Ooh, whoa, whoas.
I don't know. Whoa.
So how's it going? What are you doing? You just been sitting there, hanging out?
for the most part, yeah. I feel like it's been a mixture of sort of just like I'm trying to amuse myself with like cooking and obviously I still have like schoolwork and stuff that I have to do. But
Have you learned any new recipes that you're excited
I
about?
have actually. Yeah. Because I learned how to bake a cake. So
From
that was
scratch?
the thing. I told you about that. Yeah, I baked
yeah.
I baked a cake for the first time.
You baked
which
your
was,
own birthday cake.
Yeah. Because it was my birthday, so I was like,
Well, it's the
Let's
birthday.
do
You
it.
should do that. You're officially an adult now.
I have two questions. What type of cake, and also was it from a box, or did you make it like the mix from scratch?
It was a banana chocolate cake, and I made it out of some old bananas.
Ooh.
So that's what I
Dropped
made
them
it
in a
from.
pan and threw a Hershey's bar on top and tossed it in the oven.
Yeah, basically.
You throw
And
some
then
Wonder
it
Bread
came
on
out
top, I
like-
think. You're supposed to.
Yeah, it was like the video game method of making food. I took a bunch of ingredients that were completely raw. I threw them all in an oven, and they came out perfect.
Wow.
Nice.
So-
Did you ever
Art
play?
imitates life.
You ever play Cooking Mama? That
I
was,
did,
yeah,
with my
that-
sister. I
that
used
was-
to play Cooking Mama.
that was the shit.
It was awesome.
It's just like you ever play? You know what that is?
No.
It's I played it on Wii. I don't know if it was on anything else.
It's on DS also.
Oh.
It was
What?
like it was like a Nintendo game
So
for
one of
sure.
those-
Though.
Okay.
Is that one of those cannibalism games?
Yeah, totally. You had to get Mama. You got to cook her. No, it's just all
Throw
these
her
like.
Very
train
very
first?
Freudian. You started with her titties.
It's just it's one of those. Would that be Freudian or would that be Oediplean?
I think it's just fucked up. It's just
Well, it'd be-
regular fucked up.
It'd be edible.
It'd be edible. There you go.
Yeah, but well, recently they made a new Cooking Mama. They released it for like 10 minutes and then it disappeared.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that a
So-
conspiracy?
Was it like a phone game?
No, so it released on the Switch, on the Nintendo Switch, and they released the game and then just took it down mysteriously. Like, no, I don't think anyone knew. Or maybe it was on the PlayStation, and that was why they took it down. Like, Nintendo came in and I don't know. the
Like,
shadowy
whoops,
hand of
we meant to hit the Nintendo button, not the Sony button. Sorry.
They were like, shit, reverse, undo.
Hit the A button. And people with PlayStations are like, what do I do?
Whenever I'm playing games with Avon, with your daughter, she'll be like, "How do you do this thing?" And I'll be like, "Oh, you up, down, and then you press X." She's like, or then you press A, and she's like, "There is no A button."
Yeah.
Every time.
That's when you're playing on like PlayStation and stuff.
Oh yeah, she's very like you have to get it right if you're
Yeah.
talking, because then she'll just catch you and be like, "Actually, I think what you meant was this."
She's very observant and
Like, oh, are you calling me
outspoken.
out?
Okay, yeah, she's calling you out every single time.
I respect it.
I could roll her in multiplication tables. I bet.
Zach, what
I
do
would
you?
love to see that
what do you
face
got?
off.
Zach's pulling up some news here.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Cooking Mama game.
The Cooking Mama game for Switch that came out and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mysterious.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been jealous too because I know y'all have been playing some Mario Kart Double Dash.
Hell
And
yeah.
I remember
Hell
playing that
yeah.
kid, and that game is really fun.
Who do you play as?
I usually would play as Bowser Jr. because I
Nice.
thought he was cute when I was a child, and I thought he dressed well. I would talk about all these things.
He's prepped for coronavirus season or whatever you call it, because he's got the mask on that he draws. I like that he drew on the mask. That's pretty cool. Good move, baby Bowser. Who's your secondary?
And then my secondary, like, because I would like to mismatch, so I would usually use baby Luigi because
Well, you
I
still
already
mentioned
felt
babies.
that Luigi got less respect, but as a baby, I imagine he got even less. Less
Green
respect.
balls.
Do you identify
on.
with
Yeah.
Baby Luigi?
Huh?
Do you identify with Baby Luigi?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
When I was a baby, for sure.
And now, yeah, I guess now you just kind of are Luigi. You're
Yeah, I
you're
was
just the
slowly-
tall dude. That's
Well, for Halloween, you were Waluigi.
I was Waluigi.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Do
Yeah,
you
big
do
people
the voice at all?
Yeah, Waluigi.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's Zach. Are you pulling up sound clips of Waluigi over there?
I was actually just looking up. I was actually pulled up a Waluigi soundboard,
Nice. That sounded
just like him.
just like Waluigi. Good job. So, are you masturbating a lot?
You know, it comes and goes in waves. You know, some days I lay there and do nothing at all. Some days you need a stress ball in your life. Yeah.
Hey, we're all
think-
coping.
I think part of it too is like, because I've talked to people a lot, just about like social distancing, especially when they're dating people, about like, being apart from this person is like really difficult. It's like everybody is now kind of in like a long distance relationship, which is very interesting. I feel like to see everybody going through that.
I was talking to
too.
Zach, and I was thinking that this whole pandemic is punishment for all the pansexual people. It's like, hey, stop fucking everything that you see. Just stick to one thing. That's what we're supposed to do. Just like you find one and it's fine, and you keep fucking everything, you're gonna get everybody diseased.
Yeah, it's God coming
like-
down on polyamory.
No, it's just it's how we're built. We're built to.
What a take. God was like, polyamory, what's going on?
Yeah, no, he's fucking pissed. I'm sorry, she's fucking pissed.
Thank you.
My bad.
It's like most of us can just make do masturbating, but you've got to fuck other people more than one. Come on now.
It's selfish. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's like all the billionaires. You got to eat the rich and eat the fat pansexual people.
Yeah.
There's a lot to eat.
Well, I mean,
Wait, are you eating one right now?
I'm eating. I'm eating Cheez-Its. That's what I'm doing.
Regular
I got
kind?
hungry.
Are they its or nips?
There it
Cheese
is.
nipples?
Okay.
Why would they
no
call a
cheese
product
nipples.
cheese nipples?
You
That's
know
what that's
told
short
me?
for, right?
No, it's a Japanese slur. They came out with when World War
Go on.
that World War was going on. Is it
Please.
2? That's the
Two.
same one?
Uh-huh.
Do explain.
But
Yeah, it's the same
It was a
one.
world war. There's
I
lots
know,
of
but
stuff
there was
going on.
there was the one with the Germans,
The
and then there was the
Eastern-
one with the,
the Western
Japanese.
Front.
That's the same one.
The
Yeah.
Eastern Front.
So okay. What's the timeline there?
I know
So,
all
like-
this from Battlefield that I did
So-
not pay attention in school.
So like, yeah, no, I don't. I didn't play Battlefield, so I didn't get the knowledge. So there's Japan was like, we're gonna bomb you, and then we're like, no, and then shut up, and then I'm getting laughed at by okay, the people know, and
love
then
this.
and
Chad's
then-
retelling of history. It's a new segment.
Chad,
And
I just feel weird. I feel like Emma. Do you want to tell? World War II was not good. It wasn't good for anyone
No, it was
involved.
pretty bad.
Oh no, I don't think that
Yeah.
it was. I'm just saying like Japan was like, hey, we're gonna bomb you, and then we're like, oh, you shouldn't have done. Wait, that was after the Jews.
I was.
That was World War-
1941.
You being like, wait,
Yeah.
hang on. How did they fit so much awful into one war?
But that's what happened, right?
Yeah. No,
It
it
is
was.
what happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Everybody
it was the
real
world. Like everybody was pissed.
It was. Everybody got involved.
What was Australia doing?
Australia was fighting Japan mostly. Actually, that was what
Oh, that
Australia
makes
was
sense.
doing during the war. Yeah. Australia. Yeah.
I wonder if they ever enlisted any like kangaroos. They're like, hey, go beat the shit out of that guy.
Probably a lot of
just-
militaries have tried to weaponize different animals. Like there were
That's-
war elephants, there were horses, dogs. Those ones all they did them. Pigeons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pigeons, but like that's like carrier pigeon stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they had some with guns.
I think they had some with like poison or some shit. Maybe.
Those were the pigeons those are the inner city pigeons.
The ones
They're
that
hard
just,
pigeons.
they carry.
They wore Carhartts. And
Open
Well,
carry pigeons.
I mean, they would have obviously like dogs and stuff to help out, but they used to do something. I remember this was also during World War II with like tanks, where they would like train dogs. I think this was in Russia. They would train dogs to actually like throw Molotov cocktails
Whoa.
at tanks. It was not successful. I'll say that. It was not a successful venture.
Just like
But they tried it. So
yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't try to like train a kangaroo to operate a machine gun. I mean, I feel like that
Yeah.
would be.
I feel like at some point somebody tied a gun to a shark, or at least a dolphin.
No, that's
I definitely I do feel like I heard dolphins before.
Austin Powers
Oh right.
2, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Freaking sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads.
Right. Right.
Pretty
That's
sure
a
is how that
technical
goes.
term.
Yeah.
I did this.
It could be effective.
Happy 420, Owen.
Oh yeah.
Indeed, a happy 420 to you three as well.
I keep forgetting it's 420.
I
I worked
see you-
today and it was like extra busy and I delivered to a bunch of fucking morons and then like it makes sense way afterward. I'm like, oh, you're not a moron, you're just stoned.
Did anyone
Okay,
at least tip you in
moron.
weed?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't really. I'm never excited when a stranger hands me a nug of weed.
Like-
I'm like, no, I have my own.
Well, and they always hand you like, here's some weed, bro, and you're like, okay, cool, I smoke weed, right on. And then they give you the smallest amount of weed. They're like, here you go. I'm like, okay, well that's gonna.
Yeah, back in middle school,
I might
this
as well
would have
eat
been
it.
sick.
Yeah.
High school, middle school.
Well, yeah. I
smoking
don't
weed.
know. It's always interesting. Like when I was a little kid, I remember my family took a trip to Scotland, and I got offered weed by a large Scottish man.
Huh.
He offered me weed because I had wandered. It was not his fault. I had wandered into his weed shop.
You wanna
That
play
was-
with my bagpipes?
Wait,
Yeah.
they had a weed shop
Yeah.
where they sold weed?
Yeah, well,
So it's
on
legal
the
now?
outside
Is it
of
just-
the store, it said electronics in this cool font, and I was like, I'm cool, I'm going in there. And I went inside, and it was mostly vape pens.
I
and
think that's
stuff.
on him. That's if you're a little 12-year-old
Yeah.
boy, you see electronics, you're not thinking, oh, that's definitely a front for a marijuana store.
Yeah. Well, okay, because when I went inside, then he laughed at me because there was also a giant marijuana leaf behind the logo. So it was definitely,
But that's just that
It was-
design you see at like Spencer's Gifts and everywhere else.
yeah.
The big
Yeah.
pot leaf. You're
It's
just
It's
My
like like that cute little bunny with the bow tie on it.
People like foliage. Yeah.
Yeah, in my small child mind, I was like, it's just nice decor. He's gonna welcome me in.
So you have schoolwork. Is there like you just turn it in online and such like that, and such?
Yeah,
like
right
that?
now we're just doing our work. We turn it all in, like pretty much online. Every teacher has their own like different thing. Some teachers are like, now that we're online, we're gonna go crazy, and there's gonna be tons of assignments. And some teachers are celebrating 420, probably or
Nice.
something like
Party.
that. So it's so it's a big distinction, I feel like, between different varieties that we've got now online.
So do you ever meet up with your whole classroom like what my daughter does and like show everybody what you've been drawing over like the week and stuff like that? Oh,
He froze.
he's gonna catch up.
Owen. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Is it beeping?
it's beeping.
Are they calling us again?
I'll mess with it.
I like what it looks like right there.
Yeah, I thought you had offended him for a second.
Anyway, okay.
Oh, I was jamming.
Hey, next time let it ring a couple times. We like that song.
Oh, is it the whoop, whoop, whoop.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, I have headphones on. Okay, I see.
Jamming out to it. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. How is it for your daughter doing it, like for her school? Because I don't know, for us all the professors have their own like different thing, but for like grade school and stuff, what is their process?
She has plenty of assignments. They have like stuff that she has to read, and her reading stuff, she has to record like 15 minutes of her reading out loud, and then that just goes on a recording, gets sent to the teacher, which is funny because it's like I feel like she could just make it up because the teacher's probably not going to listen to all that. Every student listening to 15 minutes of reading, no way.
Yeah.
Be like,
Of kids trying to read.
She'd just start out with the first couple of paragraphs and then just improvise.
yeah, just be like,
She probably just listens to the first few seconds.
hey, Miss Powell, are you actually listening to this? If you are, then just give me an A.
Yeah, here's
If I'm smart enough to do this, just give me an A.
here's all the students who I've caught eating their boogers in
There
the
you
last
go.
week.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Give her the intel.
But yeah, there's
Yeah.
that. There's all the different subjects. She has just stuff to go through, and then it's like either Google Slides or Google Docs, but it's all within the Google Classroom framework.
Yeah.
So she gets to meet up with her whole class. Looks like a Zoom call or something like that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's surprisingly fun. I feel like doing some of the like Zoom stuff. And it's also kind of fun too because now I'll have like friends who will be like, "Oh, do you want to call? Like let's do some Zoom thing." Or like people I would have never been able like done a face-to-face call for before. My grandmother from the UK like messaged me recently and was like, "Have you heard of this Zoom? I'm so excited to talk to you face to face finally." I was like, could have used Skype for so long.
Yeah,
She's-
Yeah, there's so many programs that have been around for so long.
But it's kind of fun. Like people are just discovering this thing that's been available for many years.
Yeah, and it's funny. There's Google Hangouts too, which was like infamously never caught on for whatever
Yeah.
reason. I
Is
mean, I never
that-
used it, so I don't know. Maybe it was a bad interface, but
Yeah.
it's been
Google
around.
wasn't there a Google like Facebook thing that never caught on as
Yeah,
well?
Google Plus.
Oh yeah, Google Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do that, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the new shit."
Yeah, I had one. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm on top of this one.
Yeah, I was excited.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna be cool, and then it didn't. Nothing happened. I kept getting like,
Well, especially because well, I was just gonna say because everybody I think everybody was like, "Oh man, Facebook! Like we gotta find something new to use," and so it was like, "Oh, this will be a cool new thing." But then there were like circles, so you had to divide all your friends into circles.
yeah, I didn't
Which
like that.
actually is not a terrible idea. Sometimes on Facebook, I'm like, I wish I could click on a thing that would just check all of the friends in this group.
Yeah.
Like comedy people.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
just.
I think
comedy
you
people.
can, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You got to go through your whole friends list, and
Yeah.
with you, it's like what 10,000 people I got to go through? Ridiculous.
It's only like 9,000.
Sometimes it's just I want to divide like my family and the comedy. Sometimes I'm like, oh dear.
I do have that. I do have a list of sometimes because you can change the permission of who can see whatever you're posting, and I have a list.
You can like unclick family.
Yeah.
Is that why
It's
I
a
never
list
see
of
any of your
people.
stuff on Facebook?
No, I never post on Facebook, Zach.
Oh.
I've never done it. But if I were to ever,
Hmm.
then you would be on that list. You would not see it.
I do like being on lists. Makes me feel included.
That is white male privilege in its purest
Sounds
form.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Ugh, if anyone ever tells me that I'm on a list that they have, I'm like, please just remove me from anything that it is. I don't want to be involved.
A femailing list.
Unsubscribe.
Actually, I've been unsubscribing from email lists like crazy lately.
So satisfying.
Yeah.
That's true.
I wrote a letter to the FCC because Chase Bank wouldn't let me unsubscribe from theirs.
I like that you write letters like the old days. You're still sending emails, but
Yeah,
I
I
like
was-
that you do that.
Yeah.
You sent one to the OLCC because AMPM wouldn't let you drink after 2.
Yeah, it's like 2:30.
Yeah, and then you said FCC.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chase has plenty of deals with the
Or
FCC.
the
SEC.
The FDA.
FTC. I don't remember which one it was, but I definitely looked it up. So I was
FART.
like, I'm pretty sure a business has to put an easy way for you to unsubscribe from their
NAACP.
shit. Yeah, I emailed the NAACP. Would you believe what these motherfuckers up in here doing?
I'm having bank problems. They're like, yeah, that's how that goes. Have you gotten into anything new since you haven't been able to go anywhere, other than all the dick you're slinging everywhere?
I mean, I've gone.
I hear about it.
Look, man, I've gotten. I would say like, I feel like I haven't gotten into new stuff. I've gotten like back into stuff that I wasn't like that I didn't have time for before, but now I do.
Like what?
I've played a lot more board games recently.
By yourself?
Well, look, I don't know how to tell you this. I may not have been following proper social distancing protocol all the time. All right.
Wow.
There might be like 2 or 3 people in my building that I maybe play board games with sometimes. I can't confirm it live on the air because I don't know. Who knows? Who knows who's listening? But yeah, I've been playing some board games. It's a good time.
Hypothetically.
Yeah,
It's okay. We 3 sitting here within a foot away from each other won't tell on you.
I appreciate that. You know, I did have good feelings though that I wasn't gonna be doing this podcast with 3 narcs. Like I knew something
Yep.
told me.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we actually have some police listeners.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Is this how?
I don't know. Whenever I see a police officer, I always plug it to him. Like, hey, let me see your phone. Pull up your podcast thing.
Yeah.
But
Because do
they're
I
gonna-
have something you're going to want to hear?
They're gonna think you're reaching for their gun, and you're gonna die just by trying to plug the podcast.
Ooh, I've always wanted to do that.
Die?
No, take an officer's gun from him. It's like, I have the power now.
You just imagine you're like, wait, hang on.
I want to do it.
I want to show you something. They're like, are you reaching for a gun? You're like, no, I'm plugging my podcast. Bang.
Psych,
He
I got your
died.
gun and your phone. You just got robbed, motherfucker.
Yeah. Have any of you 3 been doing anything new?
I tried to whittle today.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to whittle an alligator, but I broke the legs off, so I have a snake.
Okay, so he showed me what it was. He's got a little stick with one pointy end, and he goes, I was going to make an alligator. And I was like, what? Where's the head? And he's like, it's this part that I haven't touched yet. This is over here.
Once the legs were off, I was like, fuck it, I don't want to go anymore, so I just kind of...
There's one pointy end, and that does kind of look like a tail.
Yeah, I was on the right track. I never whittled anything before in my life besides the pointy stick.
Well, there's your problem. You started at the tail end.
Yeah. Did you basically just shave a piece of wood straight-ish and go, it's a snake?
Pretty much. Honestly, pretty much that's what it was. Well, I found a piece of wood today when I was walking around, so I figured I might as well try and cut it into something.
I mean,
And now it's a bad piece of wood.
Well, there is the, yeah, totally. There is the X-Acto knife downstairs, and we can, you could really get in there.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't using the best of knives, and also I was cutting into myself, and also I was pretty much like, I was not being safe about it at all. I don't think 420, the weed holiday, me stoned out of my brain, is the best time for me to take up wood carving. Right after I had a brief time trying to learn how to sharpen my knives.
Did you learn?
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean they're sharper than they were, but they're not what I wanted.
That's probably good. Hearing what happened, it's probably good that you didn't sharpen them to like peak sharpness.
Oh, for sure,
Sounds
yeah.
Like you were,
Well,
sounds like you were carving yourself.
it's safer if it's sharper, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're cutting into wood though,
I don't know.
'Cause you
Because
still have
if
to
it's
use, like, a
dull,
lot
it
of
could
force.
slip. But if it's sharp, you have to use less force.
true. And honestly, at the end of the day, I was doing a lot of I felt like I was more shaving than actually digging at it and cutting. But there was sometimes very unsafe.
Honestly, I'm still giggling to myself about Emma's comment of like, what if it was bad wood? just imagining you pick up the piece of wood and it's whispering evil things to you.
Starts calling me the N-word.
I think you made it into
Get out of here.
That's evil wood.
That's a racist
Bad
piece of
wood.
wood.
It's the kind of wood you get
Go get
in
some
gym
good wood.
class, so I hear.
The racist kind?
Oh.
I want to get a racist boner sometime. That'd be awesome to be like, oh fuck, the most racist thing's happening, and then you get a boner. Or what if you could get turned on by something, but then that made you racist?
I think
What if-
there are probably fetishes that would fall under that.
Nothing
Category?
that is overtly violent toward but if there's a sexual act going on, I guess.
There's definitely some racist role playing stuff that people get into.
Yeah, have you seen that one Selma Blair movie?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. I don't want to say it, but there's a scene where she's having sex with a black guy, and he's like, "Call me the N-word."
Whoa.
And then
Would you have sex with a black guy to be able to do that?
I think I thought too long already. So that's, you're already busted if you think that long. That'd be pretty great, though.
If your question is something you're into, it might be something
Yeah.
too.
Well, at least you'd want to earn it.
Yeah, I definitely do like earning the N-word. It's true. It sucks because it's like I was told once that I could have the N-word card at any time that I wanted to use the word fellas instead of that word, and the comic who told me that got kicked out of comedy because he's a bad person, and it goes to show me that you can't let black comics tell you it's okay to do things.
Also, do you
or
think
it's not okay to do things?
do you
Don't take
think, like,
advice from black comics.
Do you think they
That's
meet up?
definitely the takeaway.
Hey
here.
boy, pull up your pants as I drop pills into this girl's drink and fuck her while she's sleeping.
Do you think they meet up and like be like, yeah, I gave all these guys the N-word pass. They put you in a database, and so then if you get
That's a list I'm okay to be on. Do you think they give it to like a white person?
Nah, I just imagine like an Urkel type.
Like they go clock in and like, hey, I got you 6 more today. All right, that's $200.
Is that Urkel?
Yeah, that was my Urkel voice.
Yeah, that's what he actually sound like. Jaleel White, actually.
What's your Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman. I can't believe there's motherfucking snakes. That's the right guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Morgan Freeman.
Or
And I'm Samuel L. Jackson. Pleasure to be here on this podcast.
Antoine Fisher was a good boy.
Good man.
Oh, and you're very into accents.
Yeah,
You have
I
a
do.
whole set
I
about
like,
them?
Huh?
Like, go on.
Do you do your whole set in italics?
I do. I do. I type it all out in italics.
Oh man.
I do. I do like accents a lot. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I feel like learning accents, you can learn a lot about just where the accents are from too. I really like the difference between like dialects of accents too. Is something that I like a lot.
Yeah.
Like in the Scottish accent, if you're from like Edinburgh, you have a sort of like, oh, this is a Scottish accent, and you can hear they don't actually roll the R's at all. But if you go to Glasgow, then they're like, you're nae fit for Glasgow, and they're rolling the R's like all throughout the thing. And the reason for that, like, is basically just English people showed up to Edinburgh and they were like, would you like to have an English accent? And they were like, no, but we'll be friends about it. And then English people went to Glasgow. They were like, do you want an English accent? And they were like, let's start a war. Yeah, fucking freedom. And so it's really, I think, kind of fun. Like that, I find a lot of fun in accents too. That's why I like joking about it.
Is that what Braveheart's about?
It's exactly what Braveheart's about.
Okay.
basically.
Wait, really?
I thought it was
I don't
about
know,
throwing
Brave-
rocks really far.
That was about a guy getting his balls cut off.
Braveheart's about building the biggest, most unstable sword possible, and then only giving it to one guy. That's what Braveheart's about.
Oh yeah, doesn't he have like isn't it just I haven't seen it in a long time, but isn't it like
It's just
really like he has like almost trouble picking it up?
it does, yeah. It's just super big for no reason. I don't know why it was that big. That's not really relevant or important. I
The
don't know. But
director
yeah,
was a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah. He's like, I
why.
want to be like Cloud, man. They were like, what is this? He's like, whoops. Revealed I'm a time traveler. Oops. Yeah, that's what Braveheart's about, actually. Mel Gibson, the time traveler. That's what the whole movie's about.
And somebody can read women's thoughts.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it.
You've never seen What Women Want? I guess you already know.
Yeah, I don't need to watch a movie about it.
Yeah.
Huh.
You have all the secrets.
That's
do.
why I watched
keep
the
them
movie.
locked away.
Because I wanted to know when I was young. I was like, tell me.
What do we want according to that movie?
Well,
Chad, want.
poodles have a French accent. I know that. And
Wait,
Louis?
you learned that women want poodles who have a French accent, or
No,
just that poodles do have a French
that a
accent?
poodle
If they're
has a French
female.
accent. Yeah, if it's a female.
Okay.
If they're male, I don't know what. It is. It's probably
Spanish could be.
Spanish, yeah. What was the rest of it?
What women want.
Oh, that's about it. Yeah. There's Poodle.
Oh,
There's
I
one.
didn't realize it was
He's
a
walking
Pixar
through a
movie.
park and he's having the whole like what women want panic attack where his like brain's starting to like hear everything, and then there's a poodle that's like on its back legs like and it's just going, Monsieur, I have to poop. And I thought that was great. I loved that as a kid.
Yeah, we do say that. We do think that a lot.
I got blow my nose.
I love the idea that the whole movie was like, here's what women want, and Chad, that poodle's French. Hang on. Is there any particular accent that you really like? I don't know. I always think people talk sometimes about like, oh, I really like this accent or that sort of thing.
I love all the different Southern accents.
Yeah.
I can't do them, but I just love that there's so many different types for all different types of people.
A Southern accent for every occasion.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, like a good thick, like a Creole accent.
Like, well, boy, how the hell do I wait or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore. Never mind.
Yeah, I told you I can't do it.
That's honestly, I will rewatch sometimes Brokeback Mountain for the accents. I promise. Because every
why we
single
all
character
watch
in
it.
that movie is from a different southern state, and they all have a different accent. And they're all, like, I don't know. It's cool.
It is interesting to hear the subtle differences between them.
Yeah.
I like, I think Arkansas accents are interesting because everyone I've heard with an Arkansas accent also has like a really nasally voice. Like that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's judging by like two people.
Yeah. I know of two.
Yeah. That's
Chaz
Yeah.
Logan Hyde and Matt Besser.
no Hunter Donaldson. Oh, Chaz. That's three people.
Oh, Hunter Donaldson also, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hear the nasally as much
Oh,
with him.
it's there.
Okay.
It's great. It works for all of them.
No, yeah, no, it's there.
Yeah.
That's true. That guy fucks with me though. Like,
Yeah,
just
he
it's
does.
just the way he is. But like, there was one time at Harvest Fest. We probably talked about this. But he just came up and we were eating some of the food. It was all
It
fried
was like
food.
an after party thing.
Yeah, it was like an after party, and he comes
Yeah.
up and he goes, "This food's a fucking joke, right?" And he just held it, and I was like, "I don't know. Are you serious?" Like I was so thrown off, and I was like, "Well, it's fried food for comics at a comedy after party, so that's kind of a joke. If you're like, oh, let's get the comics fried food. That's what they always have, or I don't know." But then I just kind of sat there in it for way too long. Was like, I don't know what to say to you, and then he just walked away. I was like, okay, but I guess that's kind of how it is for some people. I think when I talk and they don't know who I am.
Yeah. He chatted you.
Yeah, he got me. Got me good.
He pulled a Chad on Chad.
Yeah, it was weird.
Never been done.
Is that what you thought, right? Like, he walked away and you were like, hang on, that's some shit I would do. And then you chased after him.
I think I immediately said that to Emma and Jeff.
Yeah.
Because they were both there. I was like, is that what it's like when I say shit that I think is funny and it's only me?
There were definitely times when I first met you where you would just say something to me and walk away, and I was like, hang on, what just happened? What's going on here? I think there was one point in time where we hadn't met yet. I think it was one of the first open mics I had been to, and you looked over at me and you were like, "Are you one of the comics tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And you were like, "Hmm." And then you walked away. That was it. That was the whole interaction.
That's fun.
And I was like, "Did that go well? I'm not sure. I didn't know. I don't know what happened."
And here you are now.
I wonder what I meant by that.
Huh.
Probably just like, okay.
I think it was just an okay, because then I saw you like 3 minutes later outside smoking, so I was like, oh, never mind. He was just going, yeah.
I was probably talking to everybody about you in between those two things. Like,
Yeah.
this fucking guy thinks he can come in here. Actually, I just heard. Oh, I wish I had it. Oh, you know what? I do somewhere. I'm gonna put the audio of this in this episode.
That fucking Owen Lyon-Smith guy? It's really funny being a person who's here with a lot of comics that do comedy here, because when somebody brand new goes up and does really well, there's a lot of people over there going, "This is the first time. First time. Motherfucker. First time. Piece of shit, I'm gonna fucking kill him first time." And then that kind of dies down. And there's just like a, yeah, if you like that kind of thing. Give us some time. It'll be fine. That was a good job. Just straight, legitimate, hey, good job. Yeah, sure, I don't care.
But it's me right after your first set and talking about all the comics in the back that are just like, what the fuck? Is this his first set? That's ridiculous.
I think
that's
that was
fun.
also part of what I liked about that interaction is you had, like, because you had said that, but then when I was like, oh, hey, I don't think you remembered my, like, or at least my face. Like, you didn't remember my face. And so you were like, So maybe that was what the thing was, is you were like, no, I remember you. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
A moment of realization.
That's
It was,
so
it was actually...
You're hard to
I mean,
forget.
yeah, well, I mean, it was a very sweet moment, actually, because I remember that open mic. I was like, oh, man, because it was the first time I had done it. So I was like, oh. And then you came up after my set, and you were like, that guy was cool.
Well, it's nice to compliment someone like that outwardly and show everybody that someone deserves a compliment for something like that, because it was obvious that it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't like a first-timer, like, oh, I think that went really well on accident.
It was like prepared and like.
Yeah, it just went really well because you worked on it.
Yeah, and that I think like felt good too, because I sat back down and I was like, wow, I did something. It made me want to keep coming back too.
Yeah, you earned it.
It was really cool. I will say, like, that's, I don't know, that, like, it was a very welcoming atmosphere too, like coming in for the very first time. I don't know what y'all's like first times doing comedy were like, but especially like the Capital City Theater was really welcoming when I.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Zach, how was your first time doing comedy?
Boy, my first time. It's actually pretty
He's
crazy.
the oldest here.
Yeah. When I started, there was only one open mic, I believe, in town, and it was at the Triangle. It was a mixed open mic with music. The Triangle is like a pretty shitty dive bar.
Isn't it closed now?
Well, everywhere's closed now, but.
I think it's just like, I don't know. Isn't it just like not do the open mic? Am I wrong? I might be wrong.
Say what?
I think they had closed a few months ago.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. I don't go that way very often.
Yeah, me neither anymore.
Especially the Triangle.
Yeah.
I didn't go after they remodeled because I feel like they fixed the bathroom, which is my favorite thing about that place.
You could honestly, lick the
So
floor and catch a good buzz
Die.
off some coke, some bathroom floor coke in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I started. I was like, Jared was there. Man, I was so scared when I first walked in there because I was like freshly 21. I was like Owen now, going into like the dingiest dive bar to go tell jokes, and there was John Mink and Brad. They were just like these two big loud guys.
Oh, dude, I was so scared.
Man, I'm so scared.
When
Yeah.
I started comedy. There's these two guys that, like, in both of their profile pictures on Facebook, they're holding pistols. And I was like, what the fuck? These guys are terrifying. And people in the comedy scene were like, no, they're fine. They're funny. And then
It was a less civilized time in comedy, for sure.
yeah, it was times where you could, after a set, go sit in someone's truck and then they'd start just smoking meth, and you go, oh,
Oh, wow.
okay.
Yeah.
This is comedy. Okay. all right.
Yeah, you kids these days have it so easy. It wasn't so easy for me growing up, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
But PBRs were $2, and
Was Ken there yet?
people could laugh. Yeah, actually, Ken and I started pretty much around the same time. Like he was there like 1 or 2 weeks after I was.
Ken Hamlet.
Yeah,
Ken Thundercat Hamlet, as it used to be.
yeah, he was killing back then too. Straight up murderer.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Zach. It's definitely so easy right now. I mean, I can't believe we kids have it so good. You know, things are great right now. We're doing great.
Yeah, good for you guys.
When's your next show?
Oh.
What a good question.
Uh,
I'm gonna get back to you in give or take three, maybe 4 months. We'll see.
It's optimistic. I respect that.
I think it's fun that, I mean, I'm always kind of like a thin the herd mentality kind of thing until something like this fucking happens. But there's going to be people who don't come back to comedy. And that'll be kind of like, oh, good.
Yeah, that's true.
we're talking though. There's also going to be a lot of people that I feel like are going to go into it.
Yep.
But they'll probably drop off pretty soon. but it might also be like one of those good little influxes.
Yeah, it's nice to get like a resurgence. Like Owen had a good class of people.
Yeah, it is true. That always comes in classes. Have we talked about that before? Because we talked about it in private.
I talk about your privates all the time. What?
Likewise.
How was it? Well, yours was a super specific scenario.
Yeah. Mine was, I'm sure I've told this before. I was interviewing for a job at the theater, and so I emailed in, and Julie answered me and invited me to come in for an interview and said, also, we have our open mic, so you can go up if you want. And so I went up thinking for whatever reason that it was part of the job interview, which was terrifying, but I got the job.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad that it started that way, because I don't think that I ever would have actually taken the initiative and done it myself. Maybe after working there for a time, but I would have kept putting it off. And
I think you would have seen enough dudes that would have pissed you off. And like, you know what? It's
Yeah.
not. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Like, fuck it.
maybe.
Move.
I mean, well, when I first started, though, every comic, I was like, wow, that's amazing. They're hilarious. That's the funniest person I've ever seen. And
Isn't
then
that funny how fast that goes away?
it does. Well, it just shows that like you build taste and you build, standards by watching and performing. And so if that doesn't happen, then you're not progressing.
Yeah.
It feels like we're describing like relationships. Like every person you meet, you're like, I'm in love. This will be forever. And then you're like, nah, most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
You
And the red flags start coming out.
I believe there's some good ones out there.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just saw it online because I was like, you know what, I have to like pull the trigger. And I saw it online that there's a theater, and then I went down there, and the front door was unlocked. So I just walk in, and you know who Bergie is? It was Jared and Bergie, and they're laying on the stage where the Shadowlands is. That's where the stage used to be. And they're laying there watching a projection screen that was over there on that wall. And they're laying watching a scary movie. So I walk in, and I'm behind them, and they don't see me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't want to be like, hey, and have them be like, ah! So I was like, hey. And I did it all weird, and I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. But I was like, hey. And they were just like, oh, is the door unlocked? And I was like, yep. Anyway, how do I do comedy here? They're like, oh, just come back Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So the open mic had already started by then.
Yeah, it had been going for... Zach?
I have no recollection of that period of time.
6 months to 6 months to a year maybe before I started. But when I started, there was eight comics. No, there was probably like 10. But you'd never get more than like, how many people would get in that room? 20 at max.
Yeah, it wasn't selling out very often.
A really good crowd was 20.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole, dude.
You got chips?
That hit real hard.
Memory just wiped. Zach's memory was just clean reset there for a moment.
Yeah, that happens every night. Wow.
Yeah, that joint is no joke.
Jesus. No thanks.
You can hit it like a hand bong.
No, you could leave that.
Wow.
in there.
Remember open mics in the before time? Zach was like, I have no memories anymore. You want to hit?
Oh, there's like fun like legends from that time. One time, mushrooms or acid?
Mushrooms.
Zach took a bunch of mushrooms.
It was my birthday.
And on his birthday, and then he just went on stage. I don't think with a plan at all, and then just started talking about, like, opened up with, you guys know how many ants there are?
You know, ants outweigh humans.
Yeah, and then it was just the rest of it was that, and it was great.
There's someone in a couple in Salem that I run into from time to time, and that's the only time they've ever been to a Salem comedy, any stand-up comedy in Salem. So that's just what they think it is. That's what they think. That's who they think I am. All the time.
They just ran into you on shrooms, going, "Do you know how many ants there are in the world?"
Yeah.
And then they're just like, "Comedy is just talking about ants."
Yeah, totally. But I mean, it makes sense because I had taken, like I said, I took a bunch of mushrooms that day. Then I went on a hike with my friends at Silver Creek Falls, and my buddy got a nosebleed, and we got, an Asian family appeared out of nowhere, as they do when you're on mushrooms.
They do that.
Yeah, there's just one ran up on us, and he was breathing real heavily while my friend's nose was bleeding. So it was super weird, and I was just sitting there looking at the ground, and there's all these ants, and then all my ant knowledge came back into my brain. And I just started thinking. I went on like one of those mushroom trips where I was just like, oh yeah, ants. Those.
They could fucking kill us all.
Whoa.
Became like
Sorry.
Sorry, I got a boner.
David Attenborough. You were just like, ants.
Yeah.
And then wandered over to an open mic to deliver your knowledge
Pretty
onto
much
the world.
speed up a Attenborough thing, and then it was just Zach talking because you were like excited about it.
Oh yeah, I was really excited.
Yeah.
I was yeah, but it wasn't like
At that point, I thought that like I'd never done drugs before I did comedy, so like at that point, I thought that mushrooms were something that like there's no way you could function. So when I'd see people around comedy and they're like on drugs, I would always walk up to them and be like, "Hey, can you tell me about what it's like for you right now?" And they'd be like, "No, get away from me! Like this is the worst thing
What
you
a
could
buzzkill.
do." I'm like, I just want to know, like, is it that bad? Like I'm scared to do drugs, but I want to do drugs because it was like I would always ask people on acid and mushrooms how that was going for them, and which is like, don't do that. Now that I've done all of that, it's just like that'd be the worst thing. Have
Ellen,
someone-
you ever do any of that?
Yeah, so how is it for the three of you right now? How are you? I know I've never. I don't know. I think because I feel like that is just you're having your own your own moment, and then someone comes up and it's just like describe everything right now, and then it just only ever been around friends that did mushrooms once, and they wandered into the forest and invented a
Best way to
new sports game.
Fuck
Nice.
yeah.
So that was what I saw them do.
I
Yeah,
feel like
sounds about right.
mushrooms are. I'm way more functional on mushrooms than acid. And mushrooms, I can like think about how I'm feeling and be fine. But acid, if I get out of the immediate thing in my attention at all, then I will freak out. I don't take acid anymore.
Yeah, as soon as you notice that you're sweaty, you start getting upset.
Yeah, I can't
You
handle
go,
it.
I'm really sweaty. I'm really sweaty, and then it's just it's downhill from there.
It's not good.
I've always felt like mushrooms is good because you can kind of like ramp it up a little bit. Like if you don't want to do a whole bunch, you can just do like a little bit and have like a decent afternoon or whatever. But acid, you never really know. Like it's just you don't know how much has been dispersed on little tabs or whatever.
Yeah.
But you do one, and that's kind of just your serving. At least that's how I do it.
Science for me. Oh, my mic's out.
We
Okay. Cool.
we did a tour one time of Evergreen College in Washington,
Heard of it?
and and they have like a big what did you say?
Heard of it.
Yeah.
That's all. Please go on. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's the.
I've
where
also
my-
heard of it. In case I've heard of that too.
I never heard of it.
I knew it was in Washington before you said it.
It where my sound comes out, it made it just sound like ah. That's all I heard. So,
No, Zach hit the Waluigi soundboard again.
Wow.
yeah. Ah. But so we were doing this tour, and one of the people that we were on the tour with was like, "I've heard there's a big mushroom problem at this college. Can you tell me about that?" Like clearly interested in acquiring some mushrooms. And the tour guide was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, like I've heard there's a problem. Where could I find the problem if I want to be part of the problem? Like
What's the going
And they-
rate for an eighth of problem?
Yeah. Where can I find? I'm looking to get a lot of in bulk, maybe. So the tour guide was like, "Oh yeah, well it happens, sometime, and we think maybe like the 90s. Someone came across campus, and they just sprinkled some mushroom seeds all across the campus, and so now every spring mushrooms just sprout from the entire campus." So you could say it's a problem. And
Do they have like an extremely high GPA there?
They don't
Actually.
They don't
GPAs
do
there.
grades there.
Oh, I don't. What do you?
It's a hippie school.
Oh, okay. So there
You
you go.
design your own curriculum, and I don't really know much more than that.
Yeah, so I feel like the mushrooms.
Uh-oh.
Like.
Okay,
mushroom-
sorry. Your face was doing. Oh man, I there's gonna be times when I'm gonna try to switch back and forth with the video and stuff like that. And there's going to be times that I choose to have it on your face because it freezes at just the right spot. That's hilarious. So, sorry, and you're welcome, everybody else.
I'm excited to watch it back just to see me go like. "Bah," and
Yeah.
then, But I feel like, I don't know, that mushroom guy on the Evergreen campus has to be some sort of like mythological figure that just like brought about mushrooms into the world.
Have you met the mushroom fawn? And he just like
Yeah, exactly.
hops out of there. You know,
Hello, and he just like throws mushrooms everywhere. You know, like he's throwing flowers out of a bouquet or something.
Jimmy Mushroom Spore.
Exactly.
There you go.
So
Actually, his name's probably like Kyle or something. Stonery.
call me
Blaze.
Chief, though. I actually like it when people call me Chief. I have like a little bit of Native American in me, but it doesn't offend me. I like Chief. More like a weed thing.
I'm just imagining, like, I don't know if you ever saw like Rise of the Guardians, where they had like,
Is that the Owls movie?
you know, like they had like Jack Frost and the Easter Bunny.
Oh, never mind.
You know, and do you have any idea what I'm talking about? And like
Uh,
Santa was Russian and he had tattoos.
What?
Dude, what?
You
Is
have
this
to
a
watch
children's movie?
Are you looking
It's
this up right now?
Yeah.
Okay, he's looking this up right now.
a movie. It's a movie where they take like sort of mythological tales and they make them into like defenders of the planet. So it's like Santa Claus is this like tattooed Russian badass, and his reindeers all know karate. The
sounds
Easter Bunny is
delightful.
played by Hugh Jackman, and he uses like sharpened boomerangs and shit.
Oh, so he's doing his native accent?
Exactly. Yeah,
Nice.
he's Australian. Yeah.
I've seen the cover of this, and I just bypassed it because it looks like just another generic movie. But that's an interesting idea.
But I'm just imagining like the mushroom fawn just skipping onto the scene. What do you do? I'm gonna invent ants. Do you know about ants?
It's just Zach
Yeah,
wearing like
it's just
a
Zach.
headband.
That's why he goes to Washington every year.
Yeah.
I gotta sprinkle some more stuff.
I'll
be back.
never tell.
That's a good
Takes
Brittany Murphy
every
impression.
year. Oh man,
Isn't it crazy that Brittany Murphy died?
who's Brittany Murphy?
Oh man, isn't it crazy that people don't know who Brittany Murphy is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I think it might be because you're younger. Do you know who Brittany Murphy is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
no.
I don't remember what she was in, but I don't remember who is in
Clueless.
anything.
Don't say a word. That stupid Ashton Kutcher movie that was kind of funny for like
She was in a movie called Bong Water.
if you nice if you cut it to like 10 minutes.
Dude, where's my car?
Now it's like, dude, where's my honeymoon?
Mm.
Oh shit. Is it bad? Is it bad that you said all this?
yeah.
And my reaction upon looking her up was, "Oh, she was in 8 Mile." That's probably is that?
Oh, I still haven't seen 8 Mile. I should see 8
Oh,
Mile.
me neither.
I would know those boobs.
Actually, I
anywhere.
don't. Oh yeah, there you go.
Great.
You just-
I recognize her. I just didn't know the name.
She was
Yeah.
in Clueless and all these other movies.
Was not
Oh,
aware
you
she
mean
died.
8 Mile? Zach, I would know those boobs anywhere.
Yeah, Zach, she was. She had boobs.
Yowza. Did you know girls have boobs?
Yeah.
Have you heard? Wait, guys, have you heard about boobs? It's similar to the ants thing. There's so many.
You know, I've always wondered is if when you get breast implants, if you can still nurse a baby.
I think it depends on what kind and the size of them.
You got to get the implants that have the straws that go through them.
Oh.
Yeah. Imagine. Oh, we have your
Delicious.
implant
It's just
ready,
like a-
and they show you what's going inside you, and it's like a milk bag.
Oh my god.
Like the things they sell in like Canada. They're like, this is what we're using. Oh.
What?
Oh yeah, in some countries they sell milk in bags,
Why?
Yeah.
so you put it in your own container when you get home.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like space and packaging and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like, just if you filled a Ziploc bag with milk and
So
then
weird.
stuck a straw through
Yeah, it's
it.
like a Capri Sun.
I would really love to hold one of those.
Just do some of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There used to be at some like hardware store when I was a kid. There was like a barrel, like a Donkey Kong barrel, full of like beans, some sort of dry beans.
Oh, did you just jam your
and
arm in there?
Oh, my whole arm. And like I remember doing this a lot, and I'm like every time we get told not to. Like,
Yeah,
hey, stop doing that. I'm like, no, it feels really good.
It feels so good. That's why you wash your beans when you get beans. Everyone's sticking their face in them.
Oh, I should have stuck my face in them.
That would be.
I'm gonna
very
find some
satisfying.
Should have put your penis in it.
I can just get some beans, I guess.
Yeah.
I do
guess
have
you
some.
could just do that.
They're
Huh.
out there. Go to Winco.
Yeah, you can just. I'll just go to Winco and do it. No, I'd probably get shot now. Okay. I'm figuring stuff out.
Actually, yeah, I think it's a felony now.
Yeah.
Zach,
Touch all the beans.
it worries me that you work as a chef, and when we were like, oh man, beans, you were like, yeah, stick your dick in the beans, yeah.
I think cooking's a very intimate,
He gets very sensual with it.
very
he kisses
sensual.
all of his dishes before
Kiss.
they go out.
All the food before it goes out.
Yeah, every fry gets a little BJ real quick. Just a little, no.
That's. I mean, I got to make sure the food tastes good. Most your taste buds are actually on your lips. I don't know if you knew that.
That's why they flavor chapstick.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly why.
I get it. Peekaboo Street teaches me a lot of things.
Is that my nickname?
No, Peekaboo Street is a professional snowboarder that was on a chapstick commercial once. God, that's a good reference.
That's a very obscure reference.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It didn't
Did you see that?
work on me.
This man just came.
Yeah.
This man just ejaculated on a live on a podcast.
Wow.
Did you see that reference? Oh.
It was great. I hope there's someone that is just like, I saw that commercial. And I know who that is.
Send us an email if you saw that.
Yeah, text
commercial.
Zach. You already know his number. He
You know
keeps
it.
giving it out on the podcast.
Yeah, if you're a cop,
True
and
fans
you
know
got
it.
that reference.
Oh, if you're a cop, definitely text me because I have some questions about the law.
Can I hold your gun? That's one of them.
Not a joke. Just kidding. Blam blam.
Oh, and whatever you're doing with your arm, you looks like you're masturbating. He puts his hand up. Nope, hands are up here. Hands are up here.
I'm like hunched over. I was like tapping my foot anxiously.
Have you watched anything lately that you're super into, excited about?
Yes, I would. If people haven't seen it yet, I would 100% recommend watching Parasite. I watched the Oscars with some friends. I hadn't seen most of the movies.
Is that trash
during the
can show?
What?
Oscars?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, his personal show where he pulls the medals right out of his garbage can. Yeah, and
I don't know why you guys keep throwing these in here.
What is this, Birdman? What gets out of here? Yeah. But so I watched the Oscars. I hadn't seen any of the movies, so I've been just like rewatching, watching for the first time a bunch of movies. Parasite is awesome. Like that movie's really good. The acting is amazing, especially.
You think they'll dub it so I can watch it?
I think they'll dub it. I think, Chad, you can watch it undubbed. I believe.
You want to hear something? Check this shit out right here. Check this. She's already laughing. So there's this movie called Casa de mi Padre, right, with Will Ferrell, and it's all in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to Emma, and I was like, "Oh, that'd be, I wouldn't watch that by myself, but I'd watch that, like with you, because that'd be." And then she goes, "Yes, you could have me there, so I could read the subtitles to you." I was like, "Oh, cool, great, fucking nailed it."
Emma is your scribe, basically. She reads the words.
That's right.
I don't know if I've proven the fact that I know how to read. I have books, but I don't think I've ever opened them in front of anybody.
No,
I have not seen it
I
once.
think you just rearrange them occasionally.
Yeah,
just to
I'll flip
create
one
an
upside down
illusion.
and be like, I fucked with it.
You change where the bookmark is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad, is this
yes.
bookmark gone forward? Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I accidentally read -4 centimeters today.
Yeah, I started. My reading comprehension is so bad. I read one paragraph and I have to go back 2 chapters.
No, it's not just reading the book in reverse. It's literally just like uncomprehending words.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Dude,
that's why you fart all the time.
Go on.
It's just all of his extra words going out of his butt. Listen here, I ate the big old edible. I've been sitting over here this over time, like,
yeah.
oh boy, I'm real high, I'm real stoned.
Let's check in with the internet real quick with Zach. He's been going hard over here.
Yeah, I found out there was a King of the Hill video game that came out in
What?
the year 2000. Yeah, for
Where?
PC.
Oh.
Yeah.
so we can play it.
Cool.
It's probably on GOG.
I'll play that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Download.
GOG,
archive,
good old games
My Abandonware.
for our people that's a place to go. Oh, Abandonware?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and do you
What-
play video games?
It means it's free.
I do occasionally
What's-
play myself a video game.
What system do you play on?
I usually would play just on the computer. I just play PC games.
You play like
Or-
Counter-Strike or Diablo, or are there any other games? I've only
I-
heard of those.
You look like a StarCraft guy.
No,
That's
StarCraft is
accurate,
crazy.
though.
That game is
He
so
does
fast.
look like a StarCraft guy. Yeah, it is really fast. Even when I play on easy, the computer comes in. It's like, hey, what are you doing? There's gold over here, I think.
What have you been doing all game? You're like, I don't know. I like this guy has like a cool armor, so I built him. Is he good? They're
You-
like, no.
You make like 100 level 1s. You're like, can I just do this?
You're like,
Can
"Is
they
this
all
the
take
thing?"
you?
Yeah,
doesn't
and
work that way.
It's not the thing because
Wor-
then they have like spaceships, and you're like, what? How'd that happen? So
I didn't play many real-time strategies, but Warcraft 3 was really good, and it also came with a map editor where you could put 4 different teams of like whatever pieces of like the game you wanted to. So you just change
Yeah.
the color, and so you just watch them all get mad at each other, and then there'd just be this
Just
huge war.
explode.
Oh, it'd be so
Yeah.
great. And you just watch.
that's what because my dad used to play Warcraft 3, and so we would play like he would show me like some of those things, and he ended up getting me into playing like some StarCraft 2 and Diablo and stuff like that.
Sims?
But I didn't. I
Diablo is
wasn't-
so good.
Yeah, like I wasn't good at it when I like started playing because I was very little. So I was just like, oh, this guy's got like big axes. That's the best. You know, I'm gonna go smash things. But I do remember Diablo 3. I was like very enamored by the Witch Doctor character because he just
Witch Doctor?
Oh, yeah.
Character?
the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, the Witch Doctor's awesome.
Yeah, because he just had all the fucking animals. I was like, this guy's great. He's got
Yeah.
every animal. It was like a
That's
zoo and a
infused one.
yeah. It was awesome.
What?
Nothing. Oh, I found a room full of smoke in my mouth. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You,
Oh, there it is.
how did that get
Yeah.
there?
This is an infused joint. I want to be sponsored by this company because holy guacamole.
You want to
Let's plug them real fast.
What is it infused
commercial?
with?
I don't know what's it infused with.
What?
From Iconic. No, Ionic. Ionic Black. Full spectrum infused cannabis pre-roll. One serving per container. Holy
one of the
What?
things
They
that
want you to hit this whole thing.
one of the things that I don't understand, and it's crazy to me, is Zach's been doing comedy for so long, and he'll still talk on a microphone like this. It should be picking me up right now, right?
Sometimes you miss.
Listen, I'm used to these microphones. I just want like an orb that follows my face that I could just talk anywhere around it and have it
And
just.
it will just like move with your
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
I should get you a.
They're called hands. You can just like, and then
I
it.
guess
just
that is true. When you have your hand, that probably doesn't ever happen.
Yeah, I think that is what it is. I'm just not used to talking to with a microphone on a
Yeah, you
'Cause
got
normally I can, like,
you got to revolve around
manipulate it.
You're the moon. You know, you're
Yeah.
the moon.
105.5.
Oh my god.
Like, you have to be the orb that you want to see in the world. Gotta do it.
So what happened on the internet?
Yeah. So there's
Oh, yeah.
there's a King of the
I
Hill
interrupted
game.
Yeah, do you want me to download it?
Made it.
It's only like 300 megabytes.
Is it free?
Yeah.
It just says go. Like you can just get it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just start it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
use the good Wi-Fi here. Download
It's just
all
like-
the all the classic games.
Yeah, you can probably download 300 megabytes per second here, right? Oh no, that's not how that works.
I don't know.
I had my decimal point in the wrong spot.
I have no idea how download speed works. I don't understand any of the like tech stuff at all.
Thank you. I can't get it straight in my head either.
It doesn't make
I
sense.
try. I always have to look up like gigabytes versus megabytes and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
With this whole like doing everything from inside on computers with cameras and stuff like that, it's really upped the whole like technology side of what everybody has to do, and
It's true.
I was immediately in over my head. I was like, oh fuck, there's like hash means something else now. Like I don't understand the internet anymore. It's so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, well, and especially because you have to like adjusting to that, like all of the things that you were doing before now have to be kind of like onlineified, and stuff like download speed is important for if you're like I don't know running something like this, then it's important just like knowing how fast are things going to upload or download or stuff like that. Especially like actually some teachers in our classes have run into that because they would be like, oh, we're gonna like watch this video as part of class, and then everyone's like, this video is like enormous and we can't download it, and so we just end up like not doing anything. So people are having trouble figuring stuff out. I think that's why I was so impressed by like the setup we had for the stand-up show, Next Best Thing. Like, I don't know,
That's
Chris
all
really,
Chris Pelka.
yeah, like Chris figured everything out like
Yeah.
so well. It was really cool.
He just knows shit, and he'll just. I mean, you know, you'll hear him just start talking about some piece of equipment or some.
Yeah.
I don't know, some audio feature, and he'll just go on, and you just look at him like, oh, yeah.
Like, of course.
Yeah, totally. And he apparently can do all the same with video stuff. He just knows all that. He just knows all the lighting stuff.
Yeah.
It was wild. He knows all the space stuff, too. It's great.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't
yeah,
it-
good job.
He's like a crackhead. Whoa, that was way too loud. But yeah, no, that's how it seems sometimes because it's like it's his job and it's he's so into it and it's so awesome that he gets to do everything, and like to set up the first Next Best Thing show, he stayed up for 2 days.
Yeah.
And just got all that shit hooked up, and it's crazy.
It looks good. It looks better than a lot of streams out there.
And
So-
that
Yeah.
show's so much fun too.
Yeah,
to do.
geez, Emma.
What?
What are you trying to say?
Putting
I'm
down
trying
a
to
lot of
say-
streams out there.
I'm trying to say a lot of streams don't look as good as the stream that Chris Pelka set up. Because he did such a good job.
Yeah.
You know how he does it? It's a special foot my free cams Chris Belka's feet. Check it out. That's why it streams such good quality. He puts the vibrating thing in between his toes.
Yeah, keep watching every week. Chris's feet might show up on the stream.
Yeah, they'll be actually featured. I don't know. Have any of you tried any of the like Zoom like open mics or things like
My
that?
free cams?
No.
Oh,
No, OnlyFans.
no, haven't done any of that.
Yeah, I haven't done any open mics. I did a show on Instagram Live where I like joined into someone's call, Jay Shingle's show, Cornhub_comedy on Instagram.
Ooh, how was that?
It was fun. It was super weird.
That was yesterday, right?
It was yesterday. I was very nervous. But it was cool because he lives in a house with like 10 people in it. So he just had them as an audience and he just put the camera on them. So it was like playing to a little audience and then people were watching and commenting too. But it was very nerve-wracking and I couldn't tell if I did a good job. So I'm just going to assume that I did.
Yeah.
That's the hardest. That's got to be the hardest part about doing like live stream comedy. Right now, it's like you don't have any idea how you're really doing.
Yeah, it's weird doing it in an empty room.
So did you do the thing where you did your jokes with a guitar?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, to drown out
And-
any potential silence.
Yeah, because it gives a little bit in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's so hard too, I think, to like, I don't know, to know like from feedback like what you're doing. Because I've been nervous about doing those things just because trying out new material, it seems weird in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
Because how are you going to get the feedback that you would want like trying out new stuff? That's why when we did the Next Best Thing show, I was like, I'm only doing material that I know works, because that let me in my head be like, I can imagine when I performed it before and people laughed.
Right.
So
You
I
know
just
where
put that
to-
in my brain,
Yeah.
and then it'll be fine, right? Whereas I feel like if I was doing a joke for the first time, I'd be like, this is bombing definitely. Like I would be so certain.
Yeah. Even if it's going well, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel remotely the same as doing well in a room full of actual people.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife was texting me during your set, and she goes, "Wait, how many times can you say fuck? Because I think you got to 2 at that point." And I was like, "Oh, I think it's fine. Like it's labeled as not a clean show." And then like after 5 minutes into your set, she texts me again. She goes, "Wait, how many times can you say cunt? Because Jesus." I was like, "Yeah,
It's a different context.
I think he broke a record other than like Julian Salyer, the other like super nice, clean person as far as comedy goes."
Yeah, Owen's the dirtiest comic now by default
Yeah.
in Salem.
My
I was
favorite
saying
too.
cunt.
Yeah, my favorite too was when we got to the panel section. You turned to me and you were like, "You said cunt like 9 times," and I was like, "Yeah, but I said it in an Australian accent." And then you went, "But bullshit." Then you said it in an American accent and Scottish accent. Like what?
My daughter thought it was hilarious, so that's
I'm glad she liked it.
yeah. She uses it all the time now. It's really funny.
I wasn't even thinking about it until you brought it up because I don't know. I was just like, I wasn't imagining who was gonna tune in, and then Tina was like, "My mom's gonna tune in," and as soon as I was like, well, no, I wasn't. I didn't shake Tina's hand, but as soon as I like got off stage, I was just like, "Oh shit, right."
You gotta put your finger in her nose when you walk by Tina.
I think we elbowed. I think we did the.
Is that what?
We were still elbowing at that point.
No more
Yeah.
elbowing?
Yeah, no
Is it
more
just like
elbowing.
a salute?
It's just avoid each other.
It is
like,
cold.
Like
Just don't
magnets.
touch.
Opposite sides of
Yeah.
magnets.
cheek kiss like in France?
Yeah, right on the nose,
Oh.
mouth. I meant to say mouth.
Put your nostrils together and you both blow at the same time, but you plug the opposite one so
Oh.
it goes in a circle.
Oh God.
Are you talking about like an upside down, like a Spider-Man nostril touch? Is
Yeah,
that-
69 nostrilling.
That's called aiding.
Aiding?
It's like
Aiding.
aid.
It's
It's not.
called the double infinity.
Yeah, there you go.
We have a new number.
Aiding?
Tech.
I know,
nothing.
I know the
Never
number.
mind.
No, okay.
It's
We're backing away.
What about
420.
infinity?
I'm squirming.
Like,
What about what?
Huh?
what about infinitying?
Oh yeah. Wait. There's a. What the fuck do I keep seeing this? Feeny Roo? What is
Infinity Roo.
that? The fuck is that?
So if you run a business page on Facebook
Uh-huh.
and you want to change the name of your business page, you have to send Facebook proof that your business name is actually changing, so they know it's not someone just trying to, that they hacked someone's account and are trying to take over their shit.
Someone named Feeny Roo.
Well,
Everybody look out.
it's
Here
so-
comes Feeny Roo hopping down the little path.
Go on, please.
Okay.
So Julie goes to change Capital City Theater's Facebook page to Infinity Room, which is the name of the new venue of the theater
kidding, I
merging
get it
with the
already.
space. And they have this huge back and forth, and they're not they keep they keep denying it. Sorry. They keep denying it, and it's like an all day. Turn it down.
No, you're good now.
Okay. No, I feel like I'm not. Okay. You're all right.
I want to hear about this.
Wow, Emma, I can finally hear you.
What? Anyway, so they finally change it, and she's like, "Oh, good, finally they changed it." And then they changed it to Infinity Roo. So I guess they put it in from their end instead of just taking whatever text the user submits, and they did it wrong. They
Oh, it's a
left
problem
off-
on Facebook's side?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They changed it to Infinity Roo instead of
Oh.
Room.
See what
Facebook did it.
What
Yeah.
I thought happened was they took the account named Cappy Thea, which was the just Snoopy profile. Just
It's the Facebook for theater people who don't have a Facebook account, so they can look at stuff on Facebook.
yeah. I thought it was just that, but for Infinity.
Oh, oh, that's funny.
I was like, there's just another
be.
one.
That should be the new one.
I guess that's a good reason to have one of those. But
I
I thought it
can't-
was.
I never knew that's what that was. I always wondered who that was.
Cappy Thea?
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is
Do you think it
Cappy
was like
Thea?
a fake troll account?
Yeah, totally.
Like
That was something Jeff did.
Jeff, the biggest troll ever. He keeps posting your posts on his page.
I don't know why he's trying
Why
to
does
steal
that
my.
keep happening?
I have no idea.
So yeah, they changed it to Infinity Roo, and so of course Julie appealed it and has been trying to get them to change it back. And it's weird because with all the other stuff, they were very quick to respond, but for this, they still haven't changed it back or changed it to the correct spelling.
Has
That's very
there
frustrating.
has there ever been
Yeah.
an appeal that was banned? so that someone could banana peel. Did you hear it though? It works.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes
I
I forget that you're a dad, Chad, and then,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I remember.
It's the only thing. Rewind like 30 seconds or something for the people, and then you'll see me like working that out in my head, probably going cross-eyed while I'm doing it.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, oh, that's fun. It does work.
Yeah, you got there.
Yeah. Banana peel. It's great. What were you talking about? Oh,
Infinity Roo.
Cappy Roo.
Yeah.
I just love it's very frustrating, but Infinity Roo does sound like a Power Rangers bad guy a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
It sounds like
so
a lot of things.
yeah.
It sounds like an Australian military person in World War II, if you know what I'm saying.
And we're back.
Yeah.
According to one guy who decided to leave a negative review about the name change, it sounds like poo.
What?
Yeah.
What a
Who said that?
Some
Hey,
guy. I don't
Jeff.
fucking know. No, some
Probably
Jeff
was
again.
Jeff.
some guy whose
Yeah.
Facebook bio says fish hunt
Whoa.
camo or whatever. It's just something like that. I don't know.
Oh, he probably just thought he was being funny.
Yeah, but he left a bad review. Like, he clicked the button that says, this guy doesn't like this place.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
not,
missed that
not
part,
just
sorry.
like a mean comment, which is whatever, but
Yeah.
like a review affects your shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's fuck.
Yeah,
That's
it's
one of those
just
ones you
rude.
can get taken down though, because it's like it doesn't hold any value.
Yeah, well, Facebook's not fulfilling a lot of requests right now, I guess.
Nah.
Yeah.
They're
I
still,
think
still quarantining.
I don't know.
What?
I don't want to say it again.
Okay.
I don't even want to attempt it.
I thought what I thought had maybe happened was also like still on Facebook's end, but like just it had been typed in incorrectly, like accidentally you hit enter and you're like, oh shit, and then because it's a business page, it takes a while for it to change. But I didn't realize Facebook were the ones that typed it in
Yeah.
incorrectly.
Which is
I
so
thought it would,
weird
like-
that it would work like that.
Yeah, like maybe just like Chris stayed up for 3 nights in a row again. They were like, all right, we're changing the name. He's like, okay, I got this, and he does it. He messes it up. He's like, oh shit,
no.
okay, we got it,
No,
we
no.
got it. But to hear that Facebook did it and then stopped responding is like, what the fuck?
I
We
know,
cut-
that's some fucking mind games.
Yeah. You know,
That's
like you're the ones that messed it up, and we're like, hey, could you fix this? And you're like, ghosted.
Yeah, it's a
You know.
different department, so...
Yeah.
That's
I
what.
just change them, I don't fix them, sorry.
That's what bureaucracy's built for, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
So you can just have like 100 not my problems in a row.
So they don't have to do anything.
It just feels like your roommate like left a bunch of dishes in the sink. And you were like, "Are you gonna clean these?" And they're like, "I'm headed out of town, actually." You're like, "What the fuck,
Oh.
man?"
Oh, hate that.
So
That's a cold move.
yeah.
Dude, Zach's killing it on dishes. He's home all day long, so
Mhm.
he, like, it's just going.
I
Like,
do dishes every day,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
do you
Does
watch
he make-
do you like watch shows while you do it?
No, mostly listen to podcasts.
Nice.
Yeah.
You listen to any good podcasts, Owen?
I listened to an episode of.
Fishing.
Oh man, I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
Give me- I'll need a second to look it up. But it had Ben Schwartz on it. It was some improv podcast I was listening to. It was a lot of fun. What?
I have one I can recommend while you look it up.
Yes, do that.
Okay, you find it. I have one that I've just listened to in the past, like, 2 or 3 days. It's called Dead Eyes. And it's this
Is it one that
actor-
you're doing yourself?
Do I have dead eyes?
No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that can get that can really get in people's head.
Well, that's what this whole podcast is about, in a way. It's this actor, Connor Ratliff, who's not super famous, but you've probably seen him in bit roles, like he was on Marvelous Miss Maisel and
Who was he in that?
something else. He showed up in like one episode as kind of a bit character. He like flirted with Maisel in the second season, or Miss Maisel in the second season.
Mhm.
But you might recognize him.
Oh.
UCB improviser, super funny guy. He's on a lot of podcasts that I like.
You'll hear his face.
Yeah,
You'll know it. You'll know it when you see his words.
like he does a lot of improv stuff with Zach Woods and stuff. So he's starts by telling this story of 20 years ago, in 2001, when he got hired to play a small role in Band of Brothers, the HBO miniseries thing.
Loved that.
Yeah.
And I
I watched it when it came out. I loved it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was actually really good.
So he was hired to play, what was the character's name? I don't know. Just like a small role, like a character who like he's a private in the army who like offers an officer coffee or something like that. Just small role like that.
I was gonna make a joke.
Okay.
You said private, so never mind. Cool, it worked already.
Anyway, so
Didn't have to do it.
he got hired for this job, and Tom Hanks was directing the episode that he was going to be in, and he got fired. He got a call from the casting agent or casting director or someone who was like, hey, you need to come in and re-audition. Tom Hanks saw your audition tape, and he's having second thoughts. He says you have dead eyes. And so he went back and re-auditioned and got fired. And, it really fucked him up. He's like a young actor at that time. And he's just kind of exploring this weird thing that happened. Not just trying to get to, like, the bottom of it, but it's also a lot about just what it's like to be an actor and, failure in general and the weird connections that events have to each other and people have to each other. And he interviews a lot of really cool people. It's great. It's super well done.
That does sound really cool.
It's
I'll
not-
check that out.
It's not just him like bringing people into his studio and saying, "Do you think I have dead eyes?"
I mean, he does ask people that, but it's about a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's fun that he does get to it. at
Oh,
least.
he does. He's so funny.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it. You
Yeah.
recommended it to me earlier today.
Yeah, it's like half-hour episodes too, which is nice. And it's only
Is
8
the
in.
podcast called Dead Eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into it.
Cool.
9
Enjoy.
episodes out so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool, I feel like new podcast stuff or just like podcast stuff that's coming out too. Like, I don't know, it put a smile on my face to see the Oh Hello podcast.
I've been
with-
listening to that too. It's so funny.
Yeah. It's just cool.
Oh,
I don't know,
podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
podcast.
I thought the video cut out for a second and you were saying podcast,
No,
but then I was like, oh no,
yeah,
I get it.
It's
That's
spelled
great.
P''D cast.
That's great. So I know what it is already. Cool.
yeah.
It's yeah.
It's a good time. That one is good to check out, Dead Eyes. And then I found the thing that I found is an episode of Comedy Bang Bang with Ben Schwartz on it.
Oh, and Thomas Middleditch?
Yeah.
I just started listening to that one, the one from today.
Yeah,
Nice.
They have that show coming out
Yes.
they do.
on
And-
Netflix, right?
Oh,
Is
really?
that today or tomorrow? When did I send
Tomorrow.
you that screenshot? I sent that today.
No, you sent it yesterday.
Oh, but it said Tuesday.
Yeah. But that one's super fun. It's just like a lot of giggles, a very good time. And I thought it was funny because I also remember there was one a while ago with Ben Schwartz that was like right after the Sonic movie was like either it had come out or it was like announced. And I just remember like at one point they're like, so you got this like Sonic movie or whatever. And Ben Schwartz is like, hey man, like this is a big deal for me. Like, come on. Because every interviewer that interviews him about it is like, so this Sonic movie. And he's like, dude, you can't start an interview like that.
Yeah.
And Ben Schwartz is just so funny, but he also has this kind of like, I don't know, like just a very goofy aesthetic where he's like, take me seriously, and it just makes me giggle a little bit.
That
I
is
like-
true. It like anytime he's even talking, it's like, when is it gonna happen?
When's the bit?
It's
When's
coming.
the bit? Yeah.
He was one of the funniest people I've ever seen when he was on Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
That what's his
Sure.
character's name?
It's oh my god.
Ralph Macchio, but
Ralph-
that's not his name.
John
John,
Ralphio.
John Ralphio.
John Ralphio?
Oh, now I know who he is.
Bam. Yep.
The guy that's I was gonna say the guy that's in Sonic, but it's not his face.
He and
Yeah.
Jenny Slate together.
Who's the other guy that kind of
Hilarious.
looks who I'm mistaking him with? He was in that one TV show with Ted Danson and Zach Galifianakis. I have a computer in front of me.
Jason Schwartzman. You're
Yeah.
confusing him with Jason.
Oh.
It's a hard one to say fast.
Just
Boy, I wonder why, Zach.
because
Oh, is it
y'all look the same.
Jewish thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, one's name is Schwartz and the other's just Schwartz.
Oh, okay, that does make sense.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that part.
Benny Schwa.
Got them up side by side.
He's Benny Schwartz. They don't look that much alike, but he does. Ben Schwartz does look like Andrew Garfield, and he gets shit for that
That's
on
true.
Comedy Bang Bang often. Have you ever heard the iBrain sketch?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay,
Oh, it's classic.
I recommend you after this and everybody else
I'm gonna do it again.
to look that up because it's something that I like to listen to probably once a year. iBrain, lowercase I brain, as in like iPhone or iPod.
Okay.
Brett Gelman.
Brett Gelman, and it's just great. It's a wonderful piece of comedy, and I don't really want to just
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
3 minutes long.
I'll be sure to check. I'll be sure to check it out.
Yeah,
it
it's
sounds familiar.
probably
It was a segment on Comedy
probably
Bang Bang, right?
YouTube. I bet it's on YouTube.
Or Comedy Death Ray. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Comedy Death Ray. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I
I'll
think that
definitely
was
have to
back
look
then.
into that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm always looking for like fun or like funny stuff to just watch while I'm doing this. Well, because I'm doing my like what I've been working on mostly like for schoolwork is actually just doing my thesis, which my philosophy professors were nice enough to like let me do it on comedy. Like even my professor was just like, "Oh, this sounds like a good time. Let's do it. Yeah, it'll be fun." Like I thought they were gonna be like, "No way."
So you
like,
just get to like research comedy and
yes, I've been watching like Netflix specials and then calling it research.
What's
are you going back though?
What do you mean?
Back in time? Like watching good comedy?
Yeah.
Back when it was good?
I'm watching. I'm taking stuff from like a bunch of different points in time. Like it goes I think as far back as like I have like references to like modern times, like Chappell and stuff like that. So
Oh, cool.
it's been
What's your research question?
so the thing that I wanted to write about was the thing that I wanted to write about was basically like I would keep hearing in interviews. I don't know when somebody would say something like controversial and they would get flack for it. They would always use this defense where they would be like, "It's just a joke," or "It's just jokes," you know, like you shouldn't take it too seriously.
Do you mean
And-
comedians specifically? Or
Thinking of comedians in particular.
No. Do you mean, are you talking about comedians specifically, or do you just mean anybody?
I was looking at comedians specifically, but it could apply to anybody. That's actually true.
Oh,
That,
you just opened up his whole paper.
There you go.
yeah, no,
you need
actually.
to go write something down?
No, it's fine. It'll be
Whoa. That's fun to watch.
No, yeah. Anyways, so
Go on.
so I was thinking about that because I'd seen people doing it. I think the one that I remember where I was like, interesting, was I think it was Roseanne Barr. I was like, okay, sure, and I started to think like people are saying, oh, this is just a joke. Like, is there a way that you could like know if something is a joke, in the sense of like if you could define a joke or if you could figure out certain aspects of jokes, could you really figure out like if it's just a joke was even a defense, or would it even be a defense of them like ethically saying it's just a joke? So that's like the
So
kind
you're
of
looking
idea.
from like a social ethical standpoint.
Yeah, basically, it was like if you could define what a joke is, then you would know if things were jokes. But would that even like free you from ethical consequences as like a secondary kind of point off of that?
Cool.
So it's been really fun to write about, and I've been able to like watch some fun like stand-up stuff. I don't know. I was really excited actually by the Taylor Tomlinson's Netflix special. I really enjoyed
That's
it.
great.
That was good.
Yeah, and I got to see it live too, which was really
Wait,
cool.
you were there?
Yeah, I'm in the audience.
I was
like,
there.
You were there?
Yeah, with Austin Coburn.
Wait, you were there?
Yeah.
Wait, and
I
you were
wasn't there though.
there?
I wanted to do the thing, but it's not true. I wasn't there. Zach, were you there?
Zach, were you?
Yeah, I was actually. I am Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh shit!
The thing
Wow.
is, when Zach said that just now, there was a small part of me that believed him.
That's the part of your heart you should follow and chase. Throw your thesis in the garbage.
It's the confidence.
Believe in Zach.
Zach, there's a podcast that you should listen to. Have you heard of Dead Eyes?
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
I feel like someone just told me about that.
But yeah, it was like seeing it live was really cool.
Yeah.
And I loved like here's a tiny little detail that was I think it only mattered to me at all, but I loved the way that she started the show, like when we saw it live, and when it got put up on Netflix, like for the first day that it was on Netflix, it didn't start like that. Because when she started the show, the first thing she said was everybody's applauding. They're like, yeah. And then she went, God, I hope my ex sees this. And that was just so funny. Like I was like, this is going to be an awesome show. I can already tell. And when I watched the Netflix special, she just went, thank you. And then went into the jokes. And I was like, oh, that's way less fun.
Huh.
But then they put it back in like a day later. And I didn't even know
weird.
they could do that.
I wonder
That's
if
really
she had
weird.
something to say about that.
Yeah, that's what I kind of
Yeah.
thought, is because it seemed like she was like, no, fuck him, put that in.
It's a great joke.
Yeah, it was really fun. So I was like, that should be in there. But yeah, that's a good special as well. And I got to talk a little bit about a joke she tells in that special too, in like the idea of like joke writing. And that was fun.
Cool.
Great.
What are some of the earlier things you've seen? Like, have you watched anything from like the 80s? Like the good stuff from the 80s?
As far as comedy goes,
I mean, like that's when Gallagher was around. There was a lot of like really bad shit.
It was an
then.
experimental
yeah,
time.
it was a shoulder pads.
Oh, there's always been bad comedy. Like there's always
Yeah.
been bad music. It's just the good ones are the ones that we remember.
Well, yeah, but it was just like that's when it started becoming like a really big business, and it was just like, okay, crank it out.
Yeah.
It's like shovelware on a Wii.
Well, that's when there
My
were first were like club comics.
Yeah.
what would be an example of like a good comedian from the like 80s? Because I don't know how time works.
I like looking at, I guess Bill Hicks is early 90s and late 80s.
Richard
But
Pryor.
his stuff, Richard Pryor's really good. His stuff goes from late 70s, I think, to
Steve Martin.
till he died. Yeah, Steve Martin is fascinating.
George Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. George Carlin has some misses though. You got to be careful.
Well, he was cranking them out like nothing else though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not gonna. You're not gonna be all wins all the time.
I heard
Yeah,
no.
if you're producing
Oh.
comedy fast as that.
Huh?
I'd just say if you're producing comedy as fast as that, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I heard an old Whoopi Goldberg Goldberg record.
Mark Wahlberg.
I was gonna say I was thinking record, but it didn't come out. An old Whoopi Goldberg record. You try, it's hard. And it was great. She did like a bunch of characters, and her closing bit was this really long story. It was like 15 or 20 minutes long, maybe, about visiting about visiting Anne Frank's house, and that was in character too, as this really interesting character. It was awesome.
Is that the hot dog lady, Anne Frank?
What's the deal? Why do they sell hot dogs by 5s and hot dog rolls by 6? I don't get it. I always heard about it my whole life, but I just got hot dogs and hot dog buns the other day, and it fucking sure enough they do still do it.
I think they do it because it became a trope in like early 90s comedy, and then
No, it's because they know that you're gonna you're gonna use one of those buns to put your wiener in and be like, look, it's a hot dog. That's what I assume you guys.
Actually,
do
I
with
did
the
it this
extra
morning.
bun.
Yeah, I did because I had one left, and then I just fucking put it on a plate and mounted chili on it. Put a couple
Yeah,
eggs
what
on
they
it,
don't know
called
is
it
you're still
breakfast.
gonna eat that bun.
Yeah,
you gonna eat that mustard?
it's my penis.
Yeah,
My
Zach,
penis,
you
my
put-
choice.
You put your dick in beans, so you're definitely gonna hot dog, but that's just an invitation at that point.
Don't try and gatekeep what we could put our dicks in.
Only those dry beans in a
I'm
barrel.
not trying to stop you, Zach. Put your dick in whatever you want.
Well,
I
they were
guess.
dry.
Stop. What's the weirdest thing you would put your penis in? Emma, your boobs.
You go first.
Emma, your boobs.
I want to be
What
all
about
inclusive.
them? Oh, what? The weirdest thing I would put them in?
Wait, the weirdest thing she'd put her boobs in. Also, we realized that a nipple is the opposite of a butthole. It's just the other way.
Oh shit.
Remember?
But
That was last night.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was
I
just
guess
realizing that. I was
so,
like, that was
yeah.
our conversation.
No, I'm just remembering it from last
yeah.
night.
yeah, I mean, yeah. The only difference is that you have two nipples. Yeah.
Why do you gotta fuck it up?
How many buttholes do you have?
I don't know. I think I was imagining, like, my brain, what it did is it was imagining the boobs, and then it was imagining, like, a butthole on either butt cheek, and I wanted that image out of my head, so I clarified it to try to get it out.
What
and
a
I wrote
mess.
the analogy, and I'm sorry.
Wow, thanks for taking us on that journey.
People with your anatomically correct business.
Wait,
So,
do
yeah,
you have
what
two
would-
buttholes?
Would you stick your dick in?
What would I? Dude, there's a lot of stuff that I would.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's like
stuff I
like
already have for free.
Throw something at me, and I just.
What's the weirdest thing is what Zach asked.
Is it like previously on or like previously in? Previously in Hot Pockets.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I fucked a Hot Pocket.
Nah, it's too valuable. You got to
That's
eat
dangerous.
I don't know if I fucked around with food.
Me neither.
ever.
that. No, I've done some weird stuff with peanut butter. When I was younger, one time I vividly remember I put it on pretty much my entire body as I was just staying home alone. I must have been probably like 7 or 8.
So did you go
Teen.
take a shower?
Teen. Yeah. Yeah. It's like 7 or 8 days ago.
Stole your joke.
I think,
Damn it.
7 or 8
I
days
think
ago.
I don't know if this
Great.
is similar, but when I was a child, I stuck my dick in a hole in the ground that I think an animal lived there. And
You've raped an
my
animal's
3-year-old
house.
brain was like, because I know, I remember it was a snake, and my 3-year-old brain was like, you tormented my sister the other day, and that's how I was getting back at it.
Yeah, you want to see a fucking snake? Check this thing out.
Yeah, check this thing out.
Watch me go back and forth and inflate. You get stuck in the hole.
I didn't have sex with the hole. I just stuck my dick in there, and then I was like, this wasn't as impactful.
Oh,
as I thought.
it's Willie in the ground again.
Yeah,
Oh
my
my
mom
God.
came out,
Oh, Pit Pop, go get Owen out of the ground.
Spray him with the hose.
Oh
my
yeah,
dad
that's
was
how you
like,
gotta
"Oh,
get him
he's
out.
always doing this. This crazy chap.
It's not how you mow the lawn. Is
But it is how you plow it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Celebratory.
that made me so happy. That genuinely might be the funniest thing I've heard all week.
Tell it to all the people on Instagram yesterday.
Nah, I think we just wrote a joke for you, Owen, once this whole quarantine thing's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. You
Yeah.
can just send me $5 every time you tell it.
Can I Venmo you every time I tell that joke.
No, you got to go for the percentage.
Oh,
always-
a percentage.
I've always kind of wanted to put a hole in a cantaloupe and actually like warm it up a little bit and see if what that feels like, because it's always been a thing that I've heard of.
I would say that is probably like the best fruit to fuck because cantaloupes are disgusting
Yeah.
and they're also not that expensive.
Yep.
Oh, but if you get a good cantaloupe though,
Nah.
I had a cantaloupe milkshake once. It blew my mind. It was great
Sounds like somebody fucked a cantaloupe.
with a blender. Yeah.
That's what I call my penis. The blender.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that is probably the extent. I think I've reached the peak at age 3. I was like digging a hole, and
Yeah,
that
you
was it.
fucked the ground. You fucked the
I can't
earth.
believe you lost your virginity at 3 years old. To the earth.
To the earth.
To the earth.
To a MILF.
Yeah.
Earth.
That's great.
That's
Tell you
very
another
cool.
one.
Cool. Yep. You're just nailing it.
This is helping apparently.
Yeah.
How's it been like at home with your daughter? Like, I don't know, like staying at home
She's
with her.
just right there.
Yeah, Ava, you want some of this?
Sometimes she's no, yeah. Oh man, but no, it's like she's like, so what are we gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know, fucking find something to do. And then she's like, okay. And then she gets on her phone and plays Minecraft. And I'm like, all right, enough of that. And then she'll just sit there and fucking stare. And I'm like, find something to do. And she's like, no, I'm cool doing this. She's totally content with just, maybe it's like she knows how to meditate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. It makes me uncomfortable though, because it's like, I don't know. I just
She's not
don't.
even stoned or nothing. She's just there with her
No.
own thoughts.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I smoke a lot of weed upstairs, and then she's, we're downstairs, and then she'll go upstairs and come downstairs and be like, "Ha, let's play some Mario Kart."
Now the window's cracked.
Like, yeah, and I got the fan on.
Yeah, I mean, because I was curious just because like I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a weird question, but I remember because I was doing a Zoom meeting with one of our teachers, and like the most wholesome thing happened while we were doing the Zoom call where one of their kids like wandered over, and our professor, she was like, look, I'm busy teaching a class. Can't bother me right now. And the kid was like, I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell you how much I love you.
Oh.
And then walked away, and it was it was so sweet.
No, that's bullshit right there.
Yeah.
That's
They staged that shit.
No, that kid knows what it's doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that kid,
How old was that kid?
the kid got paid
just
off.
If it's older than like 3, it knows what the fuck it's doing.
Yeah, the kid was young. I think the kid's 5, so staged.
Yeah. Well, I
Probably
think,
just tried to give the dog a haircut or something.
I think yeah, I think it's just like, I want attention from you, and I know a lot of people are looking at you right now. So it's like, I'm going to make you feel bad and publicly feel bad. Yeah, that's fucked up.
They walked like right into the frame too. They were like right here.
I love what you do. Can I be involved in what you're doing? No, because it's kind of business and it's kind of important. It looks like you're just kind of having fun on a camera. No, no.
That's a
Fuck
different thing.
that.
Yes.
Damn kids.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened to a kid.
Yeah, it's fine at home though with my daughter. It's okay. Everything's going well. No, she really is just right there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Mhm.
Take this away from me.
It's kind of cool though. Like I don't know, in a weird way, I feel like it's part of it is trying to like spin positives and stuff. But having people right there is also something nice.
Oh yeah, it's really cool because like we do just hang out and like have conversations, and like she's one of my favorite people to talk to ever because she it's fun to just explore what kind of stuff she thinks about. She drew a picture today. She's at her mom's house, and I got sent a picture of it, and it's for school, and she's supposed to draw a picture of something that that she's afraid of, or something that she worries about, and so she drew a gravestone and wrote "My parents" on it.
She's just like me.
And it was just like I looked
man.
at the picture and I was like, "Well, that's good, I guess." Because yeah,
Oh man.
I would have wrote like that I'm gonna get my PlayStation taken away or something like that
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I was that young. I wasn't.
No,
If
she's
my
a deep
parents
thinker,
die, then I
dude.
go live with someone cool, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. They're like nice to you all the time because they feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's what I could go for.
Ah, she likes you guys.
That's it.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
kind of
so.
sweet. Yeah.
I felt good about it.
Yeah. I feel like your teacher might have gotten that and at first like see the gravestones and be like, oh, and then they go, actually.
Yeah, that because
come around,
it's
but-
morbid. Like the picture I was looking at was like, oh Jesus, it's like a gravestone and it says my parents on it.
Well, it's advanced. She's
But
thought
then it's
about
like,
your
Oh,
mortality.
yeah.
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 Like it's definitely morbid, but like if someone was like, what's the worst thing you can imagine? Yeah, probably like a loved one dying. That would probably be the thing, right?
Yeah.
No, I think you
Parents
guys are.
specifically. Oof.
They got to read more into it. I think that she's more afraid of your guys' funeral, where she's gonna have to say something at the funeral, and she still only has 3 jokes. She hasn't
that's
worked them
true.
out enough yet.
She really hasn't.
It's a fear of public speaking. Not
Yeah,
actually-
Yeah,
Yeah, that actually makes more sense statistically.
that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
cool. This was sweet.
Oh, are we done with the mic check?
This has been.
Wait, did we say what it was at the beginning?
been the mic check? I'll just have a regular intro. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
We got
Yeah.
the test run out of the way.
No, this was if this is a test run, this is fucking awesome. Except for
Yeah.
that goddamn buzzing that it's gonna annoy me later. I don't even think you can hear it. You can't hear it because it doesn't go that. It's not
No,
hooked up that way. Anyway,
I
thank you, Owen, for being on our podcast.
I love you, baby.
Miss you, buddy.
thank
Thanks
you.
for the toilet paper. He brought me toilet paper one day.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had so much of it. When all my roommates left, I was like, "Do any of you want toilet paper?" They were like, "Where I'm going, we don't need toilet paper." I'm like, weirdly cavalier, but I will take it. So I have so much toilet paper, and I talked about it so much on The Next Best Thing that I think at that point I had to give some away.
He insisted.
Yeah,
And I appreciate
I
it.
really wanted to.
Anytime you want, I'll bring weed to your doorstep.
Put your merch info on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Merch info, toilet paper. That's going to be a thing
I
after
love
this.
it.
Oh my God, so much.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Owen Lyon-Smith. Go on.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye.